Hi everyone, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful little ornament with all your bits and pieces of bling. This was actually very easy to make, and I just made it with stiff felt and paint and glitter and pieces of bling. I made this into like a Woodlands ornament. I have a little deer here and a little bird's nest with eggs and two birds and a branch here. And I'll show you how I put this together and different things that you can use. It's actually very easy. And I just connected a bail to it. And that's it. That was the whole thing. So I will tell you that this is not my idea. I have a wonderful lady on my Facebook group page by the name of Carol Tolson, and Carol has an Etsy store by the name of Refunction Crafts, and she turns the most ordinary things, it's just amazing, such as compacts, dominoes, poker chips, into drop-dead gorgeous items. I am not kidding, you have to check her out. Here are just two examples of her work. So, unbelievably, Carol has very generously given me permission to show you how to make these ornaments using her process. So, as a big thank you, I'm asking you to please check out Carol's wonderful store. I'll be sure to put my blog link in the very first comment below this video. I'll pin it to the top. And all you have to do is just click on my blog, the link I gave you, and you'll see a picture of this ornament. Just click on the ornament and Carol's link will be right there. Okay? So with that said, we'll get started. And I forgot to quickly mention, I do have a pattern for you, and I will post that link in the first comment below this video. I'll pin it to the top, and you can also find it on my blog. So I have two patterns for you, the small one and a larger one. The one I use today is a small pattern, okay? Alright, so with that said, go ahead and click on that pattern and print it out. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is stiff white felt, just like that, and make sure you get the non-adhesive kind. And you can find this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's for about $1.99 a sheet. Now for those of you who live in the UK and Australia, a lovely lady by the name of Gloria on my Facebook group has a recipe to make your own stiff felt. So just click on my ornament on my blog and it'll open up and Gloria's recipe will be right there for you. Now as you can tell, I already used some of it, but what I did was I made a cardboard shape out of the pattern that I gave you that will be available in the first comment below, pinned to the top of this page. Just click on the link and print it out. Now, like I said before, there's a larger egg and a smaller egg, so we're using the smaller one. And I just traced this with a mechanical pencil. So now I'm taking my detail scissors and I'm just going to rough cut around this because, as you know, I have a thing with all this behind me as I'm cutting. I don't like it, so. Alright, so I'm just going to come in and just cut very slowly on the lines. You don't have to go really fast when doing this. Just take your time, it'll be worth it. Right around here. So we have what looks like that. And if you can see a few of the pencil marks on the outside, that's okay, because that'll be covered. And if you can see that it might need a little trim here or there, don't worry too much or fuss too much about this, because this will also be covered in, I'll show you what we'll do next, okay? So I'm just taking a Dixie cup here, and I'm using this Folk Art metallic ice blue. I don't know, you can hardly see it, but it says metallic ice blue. And so I'm just going to shake it up and just going to put a little bit here in my cup, just like that. And then I'm going to take some triple thick, and I'll also have a link to this on my blog for those of you who are unable to find it in the craft stores. And I'm just going to take about 3 dollops or so, like that. And the reason why we're going to be painting this shape, stir it up, is because the color glitter that I'm going to put on it needs to have a similar color background. If I try to put this glitter on just the white, every little mistake, every little space that's not covered will show. And the triple thick gives this a real hardness to this once you put it on, and it also makes the paint, I think, glide on really nice and smooth. Just make sure it's really well incorporated, okay? There we go. So I'm taking my makeup brush that I bought from the Dollar Tree, and I'm dipping it in here, and I'm just painting it. Now it'll soak in right away, but that's fine. That's actually a good thing, because it'll help stiffen it up. And just kind of work the paint in, a little bit at a time. You can kind of dab it too, like this. Make sure you get the white spots. Now you can speed up the drying time by placing this under a small tabletop pan. That's what I do, and it really helps. But if you're not doing that, then you're going to have to let this sit at least 12 hours minimum, and that's if you live in a dry area like I do. Now make sure that after you paint the front that you paint the sides too. I like the ornaments to look finished all the way around. And you might see a little bit coming through in the back. Well, not really coming through, but you can see it's coming close to coming through. Don't worry about that, because that side will be covered as well. Just going on around, like so. Go back around and wipe the edges. And I'm just kind of looking at it to see if I see any white spots. I actually covered this pretty well. Okay, so that's good enough. I'm going to place this under my fan for probably about 6 hours, since it's going to be under the fan. And when this is completely dried, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the back. And then I'm going to let that completely dry. And I think I'm going to go overnight when I do the back. That way I'll make sure everything is just completely hardened on the front and the back, okay? And then once we do that, then the fun starts. We can start decorating it. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, this is rock hard. Okay, it's painted on both sides. It's had plenty of time to dry. That's really important, that drying time. You know, don't be impatient and try to skip that, because yeah, it'll really mess things up. Okay, so now we're going to do our glitter mix, and I'm putting some ultra fine glitter in there. It's kind of a wintry blue color, and I had to put it in this little baggie. And I'm just going to put maybe a little more. I'll go ahead and put the whole bag in. Whole bag. And you can use any type of fine or medium fine glitter that you'd like in a wintry blue shade, or any shade to match the paint color that you're going to use, I should say. Let me put this down a little bit. Okay. And I think I'm going to add a touch of the pink jumbo glitter that I got from Walmart. Shake that in just a little bit. Okay. Like that. And then I'm going to add a touch of the German glass glitter. And this is from a seller I always use on eBay, Debbie. And she has, their store is Sugar Camp Cottage. But she goes by Reed on eBay. That's her eBay username. And of course I'll have a link for her as well on my blog. So you see this? I'm just going to pour it in. And I used just a little bit. Okay. Stir that in. Okay. So now we're going to take our triple thick, take my makeup brush, sorry about that. My grandson doesn't know I'm recording. Hold on for just a moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. As you can see, I am being pretty generous at the top with this triple thick. And we're only going to do one side. We're not going to do both sides. Just one. Okay. And that will also leave very pretty gloss too. Alright, so I'm going to lay this down right here. And close my triple thick. That's not something that you want to leave open for a very long time, is triple thick. Alright. I'm going to cover the whole thing, and I'm not worried about the glue that's, the glitter that's overflowing, because I'll just pick that up and use it on the next ornament I make. Okay, now I'm going to take this popsicle stick and gently press this down to help the glitter adhere to the triple thick. Make sure it's in there nice and snug. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to pick this up now. Probably should have done that with a toothpick or something, but let's see if I can get it up. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to not shake this off, but I'm just going to gently tip it over once. Okay. And I'm going to go around the edges and push in any fuzzies that may be around the edges. Okay. So this is what we have so far. So we're going to let this dry, and when it dries you'll see more of a gloss too. That'll be really pretty along with this glitter. And you can find a lot of beautiful nail glitters on eBay too, where they will sell people little packages of nail glitters, and there's all different kinds of shapes and sizes of glitter and tones, and that also makes for some really pretty backgrounds. So I'm just going to let this dry overnight, and then we will start the actual construction on this ornament. So I will see you then. Okay, so as you can see, this is completely dry, and I turned down my lights a little bit above me so this wouldn't shine quite so much, so I can add some little ornaments and details to this. So originally I was going to put some rhinestone chain around here, around the edges, or the little 3mm beads, but I think I'm just going to put an edge of 18 karat gold, and this is the leafing pen, of course, by Krylon. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to add quite a bit of bling, and I just want to make sure that there's room. So I'm going to go around the edges here, and actually this looks pretty nice, so I like this. You could use the silver leafing pen as well, but I'm not too sure how well it would show up. Now this will take a little while to dry because this is paint. And so what I'm going to do is just place it in front of my fan and let it dry for a couple of hours, and then I can start decorating it. See, that looks pretty nice. It's got a nice little edge to it. Okay, so I'm going to allow this to dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I purchased these bronze metal filigree connectors from the Baubles of Fun shop on Etsy, and I'll have her link on my blog if you're interested in this. Her prices are very low, and her shipping's low too, and she combines shipping, which is really nice. So if you just click on the ornament when you come to my blog, then the link will be right there. Now, you can use these in different ways, but I like to use these as a background. This is our base, and this is basically our background. Now you can use something large like this, or you can use, let me get this, or you can use something smaller like these filigrees, and maybe place one here, and then maybe another one here, or something like that. You know, so just kind of decide what you want for a background, and you can help move these around by using your toothpick too. So that's helpful. Okay, so you're going to choose your background first. Now the next thing you're going to choose is your focal piece. It can be anything. It can be a little charm connector, like that. It can be, let's see, I thought I had, yeah. It can be something like this. This is a little rhinestone reindeer. I think I paid about $5, and that included shipping for 10 of these. And I'll also put the link to these on my blog as well. You can use something like that, but choose your main focal piece. Okay, so I'm going to use the little reindeer as a focal piece, and let me see, I'll have to decide on background. Do I want something like this, or do I want two smaller pieces like I showed you? Give it a little bit of depth. I might just want to use that one. I'm not sure. Try this one more time. I think I'm going to use that one. I think that really shows up nicely. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue that on. I'm using E6000 to glue these pieces on. And I'm just going to put some here, and maybe some just in the tips, like this. I like using the small tubes because you can better control the glue that you're using. So I'm going to place that just about here, and I'm going to press it down. That's one thing nice about these filigrees, is they're very, very bendable. So about like that. Okay. So now we have the little deer. So I think I'm going to place the deer I think I want the deer off slightly to the side. Okay, so I decided to move the deer up a little bit because I wanted to add these little birds down here too. And I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a Woodlands type a theme. And so, like I said, I moved this up, and I put a little bit of E6000 glue with a dot of hot glue, and I put that dot of hot glue on here just so it wouldn't move around. So it's nothing we can manhandle or anything like that, but it's just so it doesn't move around. So I'm going to add this piece as well, but I think I'm going to cut off these little connector loops right there. So let me grab my cutters and snap those off. Like that. And then I'm going to open this up. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of E6000 here, right on the birds. Right in the middle. I purchased these connectors from eBay a little while ago. Alright, so I'm going to put this little bird right here at the bottom. And that hot glue should make it grab while the E6000 is drying. Yeah, it's grabbed. Okay, so that's good. Alright, so we have that at the bottom. And if you notice, the little tail feathers are hanging over a little bit at the bottom. That's fine. That's okay. Just gives it a little more character. And, you know, I really like this charm that I bought, and I used these type of charms on my vintage spoon ornament video. And the only difference is I drizzled some triple thick in there I just took a little bit of triple thick with the end of my toothpick and just kind of kept scooping and drizzling. And then I put some little tiny silver lined 11.0 seed beads in there. And I just kind of pushed them down in there. And I just thought it gave it a little more color. So I might place that right about here. So back with the E6000. And take your time doing this. If you want, set out all your pieces ahead of time. Try different things before you actually glue them on. But I already have an idea of what I want, so that's why I didn't set out everything right here on camera. Alright, so I think about here. And with the hot glue, it grabbed, so that's good too. And let's see. I cut these little pieces off a blingy necklace that was discounted on at Walmart, and it was a little, I believe it was a little choker. And so I took those off, and I'm using these as bits. These remind me of little sprays. And you know what you can also do? I bought these little snowflakes 10 for a pack at the Dollar Tree. And I just put some triple thick on top, just wiped it on, and sprinkled some ultra fine pink glitter. And then I cut the tip off the snowflake when it was dried, and it makes cute little like sprays. So that's just an idea. So I think with this, I might place this one about here, and maybe this one down here. I like that, so I'm going to try that. Now I know I'm taking a while on this, but I just kind of want to show you my process. Or what works best for me. You might find that something different works for you. Put a little hot glue. And just kind of nudge that in, hold it. And then the hot glue will grab it. And these are so cute, these would even make adorable little wall hangings in a tiny little nook or someplace like that. Now you can see how part of that is hanging over. That's fine. Like I said, it just adds a little more to the character of this ornament. You could even make your theme teacups if you wanted to. I just took a little E6000 and just glued that right onto the plate, but that would be a cute theme. Little shabby chic type theme. Let's see, I think for the top I could put this little flat back button, or maybe I want something with some pearls and a little smaller. Yeah, that might work out a little better. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe something like, where's my toothpick? Maybe something like that. And then, or maybe, here's a charm that I cut the loopy part off. Maybe something like, I don't know. I would definitely have to, I think, glue this first. Yeah, I think I might turn that into a flower, but I'm going to have to glue this down first because otherwise it'll be all wiggly and wonky. So I'm just going to put some here at the bottom, and I'm not worried about the E6000 coming through because I'm going to put the little flower at the bottom here too. Okay, so I added a little hot glue to that, and I think I had it about here, didn't I? I gotta wait on that to hold. Come on, glue, grab. Okay. So now maybe I can add the flower. Is this grabbed yet? Almost, not quite. I put a lot on there too. Okay. So now for this, I'm just gonna put a little bit on here and a little bit of hot glue to make it grab. There. Let me move this. Okay. That's alright, I can put a little pearl or anything I want in there too, so. Okay, and then I have this top piece. Not sure if I want to put this like so, but yeah, maybe so. Maybe I'll do that. This is just an acrylic flat back rhinestone piece. And a tiny dab of hot glue. Just like so. Like that. So as you can see, we have quite a bit on here already. Now, if you wanted to, you could go through and put a little more. I kind of like that leaf there. Kind of gives it a balance. So I think I'm going to do that too. And once again, with this little leaf, I cut off the loop. It was originally a leaf charm. And you can find a lot of really pretty charms and inexpensive charms from China. Of course, there's some located in the US too, but seems to be the least expensive are from China. And, just type in the words. Leaf charms, bird nest charms, bird connectors, rhinestone buttons or rhinestone bling. And all kinds of things will pop up for you. Okay, and then maybe on this little leaf I can put this tiny blue flower. Oh, I like that. Okay, so let me put just a dab of this on here. Not much at all. I don't need it because this is acrylic. But I just want to make sure all the pieces are secure. I like that. All right. I may stop at that point, but I'm going to see what it would look like if I added maybe a couple of little pearls. I don't know. Let's see. These are just acrylic pearls, cheap acrylic pearls. These aren't glass pearls or anything. Maybe put one there. Maybe add one there. Hey, that might look nice. Maybe add one here or here. Maybe add one there. And maybe another pearl next to top one in a smaller size. Let's see. I'll find the hole. And then, yeah, I think I'm just going to add a few pearls here and there, maybe one down here. And here, something like that. So I'm just going to add a few pearls to this. And I'll do this off camera. I won't sit there and have you watch me do every single little pearl, because I know that you've sat through quite a bit already. And thank you for that too. So I'll go ahead and glue on those little bitty pearls, and then I'll be right back, and we'll put, after everything's completely set, and I'm going to let this, I think, sit overnight, and maybe I'll put my little tabletop fan on this too. Then when we come back, we're going to put at the very last this large bail in the back here, and we're going to string a ribbon through, and we're going to definitely use E6000 for this. Okay, and I'm using the large bail because I want a larger base to put a little more E6000 on this. Okay, all right, so we'll be back. So before I leave, I just wanted to show you the pearls that I added just a moment ago, and this is how I did it. I did, if you notice, I added white pearls, but I also added some pastel pink pearls here and there in just the right places, and I really think it turned out nice. But what I did is I just stuck a toothpick in this acrylic pearl, the hole, and I put a little bit of E6000 right here. And then I just came in and dipped the pearl and then placed it and then pulled the toothpick out like this, and it was perfect. I was able to place these in here very easily. So that's just a little tip. Okay, I'm going to allow this to dry, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we have our beautiful little bauble, and I hope the silver is filming okay, because it's really tough sometimes to grab the shininess of the silver. It has a tendency to look dark in video and pictures, but this really is pretty. And so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to hang this large glue-on bail. Now if you're looking for the bails online like eBay or Etsy, type in the words glue-on bails. You have to include the word glue-on, otherwise a whole bunch of them won't pop up that would have if you had used that word. Okay? Now, I get a lot of questions whenever I use bails as to the size. I don't ever look at the width. The width is, to me, doesn't matter. I look at the height, and this one here is 26 millimeters. Okay? So, first thing I'm going to do, of course, is put on some E6000 here. Like so. Alright, close this. And then I'm going to take my hot glue gun, put a little bit right in the middle, just so it will hold. And I'm going to turn this upside down, and then I'm going to look at the front because I want to make sure that it's right in the middle. You want it to grab onto the right place. Kind of holding it a little bit so that hot glue will grab it. There we go. Like that. And if you have an issue and a little bit is leaked out, you can go around the edges like that with your toothpick. But I'm not real worried about this. I'll clean it up off the top a little bit after it dries. So right now it's going to be drying, and I'm going to leave this overnight. So as soon as we're finished with that, we'll come back and put a beautiful little ribbon in here. And everything on here is just rock solid, so that's very nice. So that's why we use this stuff. Alright, so this is going to dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, our beautiful ornament has dried. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this 1/4 inch organza ribbon through here at the top. Okay, and I purchased this from the Fire Mountain Gems website, and as you can see, it's very strong, and this was made specifically for necklaces, although on the Fire Mountain website it doesn't say anything special other than 1/4 inch organza ribbon. So if you're looking for it, that's what you type in. Alright, so I'm just going to slip this through and tie this off. I think maybe about here. I'm thinking about here looks good, so I'll pull that. And one thing I like about this is it doesn't fray, which is nice. Okay, there we go. And this is what we have. A beautiful little ornament. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and please be sure to click on my blog link in the first comment below to click on Carol's link. I would love for you to see her things. Alright, so with that said, God bless each and every one of you, and you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.